Good morning, everybody. It is a lovely Sunday, and we are here this morning again with Chloe doing some more sewing. I'm trying to just import a garment. Give me a second. But how is everybody this morning? I hope everybody's well. It has been a really dynamic week for me. I've been having I've been trying to relax and kind of keep it very mellow and enjoyable, listening to a lot of music, doing some meditation. Um, Not something I've never done before, but I must admit that I don't often have time for it. Doing more journaling. I do try and journal weekly, but I'm trying to do it more often and in different ways because there's like journaling. Ugh, there's there's journaling I do for my studies. There's journaling that I do for, oh, sorry. There's journaling I do for my studies. There's journaling I do for me personally, and sometimes just randomly journaling is one of the ways that I help get my anxiety down. But it's not something that I have been doing often enough, I don't think. I didn't realize how many folders I have. I think it's, yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. There we go. Hmm, that's interesting. Okay. Um, I wonder why it doesn't like that. Is it that it wants it to be a pattern? Okay, it doesn't like it. I will have to do it again, which is fine. Um, I'm using the default avatar instead because I realized that what I'm actually planning for these garments is very much going to just focus on the garments at the moment and not on the avatars. So I thought it made a lot more sense to just do the default avatar but change the measurement. So this is the one from one of the previous streams. You can look back on my YouTube if you would like to see how I made it. But no, okay, I'm going to just do that straight across. But I think that it works as a shape for a corset very well because it's got the indented waist, and that's the kind of shape I want for the corsets I'm making. So it doesn't make sense to reinvent the wheel and just keep making different ones when the focus is really garment based. So this one is inspired by the theme of, hmm, interesting. Oh, hmm. Do you know what? I'll do it the other way. This one is inspired by the theme of ice. I am not a fan of ice. I must admit there was a period of time where I really liked eating ice. Not for any particular reason, just and crunchy and nice, but kind of fallen out of that. I'm just going to create the basic shape and use I might use the pen tool. I don't often use it, and it is a really nice tool. I often just use the internal lines and then the cut and sew. Maybe I should try a different technique. I said there's always something new to learn and a different method to do things on clay, which is one of the things I really like about it, that you don't have to do it in a particular way. Yes, Theron. What's the matter? Hmm? Oh, want to say hello? Say hello, Theron. Hello, Theron. Okay, Theron is now sitting on my lap. He is very sweet. He's still quite young. Well, young to me. He is only 3. You're only 3, aren't you? You're just a little baby. Mm. But he'll be off in a moment. Yeah, there he goes. Right. So this is just going to go. Okay. I'll put it there. That seems like a good place. Now I am just going to copy this and paste it just as a normal element. Um, I wanted to do that one. Okay, so they're not connected, which is nice, I think. And I'm just going to sew these together. There is a way to just hold shift and sew multiple sections, but I prefer to do it like this just because I like to have an incremental color coordination of each section um, that I'm sewing. It just, I'm not going to sew that because I'm cutting that away, so I don't need it. But then again, I suppose I could, no, I'm not going to. Right. Again, just pressing backspace to undo. Um, and then I am going to just take this line and unfold it with symmetry. Unfold with symmetry, editing with sewing. And I'm going to do the same here. And that should, okay, let's reset the 3D arrangement and let's reset the, actually it might be easier if I have colors, then I know which one is the back, which one is the front. Reset 3D arrangement. Okay, so that should actually, now that I've unfolded it, go there. Oh, great. That's fine. I'll just put it there. Wait, is that the right one? And then this one needs to go here. Lovely. Okay, so let's try that again. Brilliant. Okay, so that is the general shape that I would like. So I'm going to save. So at least we've got that kind of like basis because that is the kind of thing that I am hoping for. And then I am going to start cutting into it. Now, where is the... I must admit, I'm not a... Even when I sew in real life. I'm not very yeah, I'm not a modeling on the stand sort of person. I am a very much let's like do this in the pattern. Um, I mean that's interesting, but I don't really like the shape, so I'm going to just undo that. I suppose if I did it slow, I might have a better effect. I just find it very is that to the middle enough? Mm, yeah, I think that's okay. It's not brilliant. I suppose the pen tool is useful in the sense of that um, I could do a pattern from like here and yeah, see, that's my issue. If I go too quickly, it tries to smooth it and then creates these really undesirable shapes. I'm not looking for perfectly even, which is why I thought I would try the pen tool. But I really don't like those elements. Um, okay, I think the way I will do this is I wonder if I can just the problem I find is that I want to rotate it and I can't. And so I then have that same issue of um, not quite getting what I want. I suppose if I put that there, I can just oh, but it deletes it from there. No, it doesn't. It's still there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about this. I'm not getting the results I want. But, you know, we tried it and I can see the appeal of using it. But not today. Today we will go for the classic that I always go for, and we'll do the internal lines. The only problem I find with the internal lines is that if you don't get it right on the edge, it gets very upset. And that's annoying because sometimes it's not very easy to tell that it's not on the edge. See, this is what I wanted, more um, shapes and smoother and a little bit more regimented. There we go. And because for now I want an like an even sort of shape, and then I'm going to edit them a bit more once I've cut them out. there. I'm not sure about that one. But that's all right. I can change that to a more suitable curve later. I suppose that would be a good place to use the pen tool to just... Nope. So what I want to do is just smooth this down. Yeah, that will do. Whew. And then now, because that meets that there, I should be able to just create a nice, simple line, and they should meet up quite nicely. And then let us see. And then I did want to do an internal shape, just going round, back in at the waist, back out, and then straight up. And then I also wanted an internal shape here, literally just a triangle that goes down to, oh gosh, here. Maybe I might add in a curve there. We'll see. I might not like it after I've done it. And then this one, I actually did want to, so this one I want to go across. Oh, whoops. And into that. And then I want to go from there and go down. Right, okay, I think that is everything I wanted. Okay, I might have to do those in sections, which is not completely desirable. Okay, anyway, let's do the curves first. Let's do these ones because they're less complicated. Just cut. Actually, should I have cut and sewed? You know, I'll do cut and sew first and see whether that is useful. And then if it's not, then I would just delete those sections. Then again, I could keep those bits just for the moment. Right, and this one, and I want to cut and sew again. And again. I'm just going to delete that central line because I don't need it. And don't need those, and don't need that. Okay, now this one's fairly simple, so I'll do that one now. Cut and sew, and then change the material. And then this one is a little bit more complex because I want this line. No, never mind. Is that gonna work? Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Okay, so if I do this one first, about, I'm assuming that one won't work either. Okay, so let's do this one. Actually, what makes more sense is to draw a new line. So there, there, there. Okay. There, there, and then there. Okay, so that is a complicated web, but now I should have a better shape based on kind of redoing those lines together. And now this and this become new things. Right, so now I need to do these ones. So it'll be, I feel like I don't need that section. Right, so okay, so let us see if we can make this line better, or at least better placed. Maybe it might be nice if that line actually went straight to there instead of going the other way around. I don't know if that will work, but we will try it. I feel like because it's off the side of the pattern, it might not do it. Oh, no, likes it. But let's delete, I should have deleted that line first, but that's fine. And then all of that is going to be, I suppose I don't need to cut that top bit now because it's all going to be separate. And I didn't want to sew these sections together because I did want these icicle bits to stand up away from the chest. I feel like I will just cut that line because I don't feel that those two top bits are actually useful or necessary. So I'm just going to delete them and then simulate again. Okay, there seems to be a problem. Whoops. There. What is your problem? Okay. Okay, there's some sort of fighting here. Let's see if I delete this one. No, still. Okay. Okay. What are you made of? Trim full grain leather. Are you not trim full grain leather? Hmm, what are you? Oh, you're very stretchy for full grain leather. No, that's not right. See, this is the problem I sometimes have, that it doesn't stand up. Um, okay, so let's move back to when these were up but not fighting. And then I'm just going to take this and I am going to, do I want to strengthen it? No, I don't want to strengthen it. Unstrengthen. I want to freeze it. Freeze. And this one and freeze. And then I should be able to see what the problem is. Okay, so the problem is right there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that section away. I don't need it. It's not important. And wait a minute. What are you being sewn to? Actually, I wonder if I just delete this. Will that help? Okay, I should be able to unfreeze these. Nope, there will be no unfreezing. Okay, I'm just going to do what I originally thought and just cut that section away. I have had this issue a couple of times where it just doesn't like certain curves, and so I just have to get rid of them. It's the only solution I've found. I think it's to do with um, the what do you call it, the topology, and how can I show it to you? The the actual mesh itself, but of the garment, not of the. There we go. Yeah. Yes. It's to do with this, and I could change it so that there's more, so the topology is more complicated, but I find that that takes up a lot of space, and then the rendering time takes forever. And then when I move it into Blender, there's a lot of gaps between, especially sewing sections, and it's just more trouble than it's worth. So it's just easier to just cut it off and be done with it. Right, so I am just going to take this line and I'm just going to cut it. And I'm not going to cut and sew it because I Hello, sorry about that. My headphones. Oh, I've just realized my camera's on the wrong monitor. There we go. Um, sorry, I moved my camera because when it's on this monitor, I find that it shakes a lot every time I shake the desk. Because like now I'm shaking the desk and that monitor doesn't really shake as much. And so it's just better. And I'm not shaking the desk on purpose. It's not that I am so passionate about this. It's more that I have my leg up, and so I keep knocking it with my knee, so it's easy to just have it on the other screen. Moving on, I'm going to delete that. Uh, does that help? 1 second. I realize that I am looking at the topology. I want to look at the material. Okay, so if I unfreeze this as an experiment and I go like that, okay, it does widen it slightly, but that's okay. And I unfreeze that. Nope, it still doesn't like it. What is it that you don't like is the question. Something to do here. What is it? Tell me your woes. Okay, so let's move these actually and make these the material they were before. I went too far back. And let's work out the sewing lines. So that sews to there, that seems fine. That sews to itself. That seems okay. Actually, whoops. And now I want to merge. There we go. Oh, and I can delete that center line because I don't need it. Okay, if I unfreeze this, are you going to behave now? Okay, we worked it out. I might still, yeah, just solidify those for the moment. I don't like that length. I'm going to change it. What's the best way? I think probably down is the best way. So I'm just going to highlight all of this section and then just move it down slightly. Why is that still fighting for position? Oh, I see. I need to cut that. I need to just cut the tip off. Right. We go again. I say this isn't a super important section, and the reason I've made it purple, actually, I'm going to change that color in a moment, is because whenever I do those sections where I make them a random color, I don't know why I cut and sewed that because I'm going to delete it. There we go. That seems to be better. I want that to be up, not but not up equally. Just maybe it's this one I need to strengthen. Nope. Where is it? Unstrengthen. Unsolidify. And then let's freeze that one. Oh, wait, they're the same thing. I can't freeze it. Okay, unfreeze. Oh, there is a way to just freeze a section. Oh, I can't see what I'm selecting. Okay, so this, and let's just freeze that. Actually, I might just freeze the whole of that. Lovely. And then I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go to play, and I'm going to move this, and I don't need to freeze it in the same position because it's not about it being even. It is about it being it's just about it being upright. And that one's kind of like stretched out to the side. I just want this one straight up. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm just going to freeze just that section of the mesh and freeze it. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. And then I think I should unsolidify that and unsolidify that, but I am going to freeze, if I can find it, I'm going to freeze that. I'm not going to freeze that, but I am going to freeze that. And then I'm going to press, I'm going to simulate that. Okay, I don't know if that made an actual difference. And then I'm going to pull this down, not too much, slightly out. And then I'm going to freeze this. So the point of freezing is to create an unnatural shape, because I'm going to put this into Blender, and then I'm going to like make it sparkle and add icicles to it, but I want it to have a kind of unnatural shape, but I wanted the pattern itself to be even and the manipulations to be what made it uneven. So again, this side, this is the side I'm going to freeze. I don't know if I need to freeze that. I'm going to freeze it just for the moment while I mess around with everything, but I think it should be okay. And then I'm going to simulate and pull this bit down a little. Oh, wait, because I've frozen the other side, I don't want to pull it too far out. There seems okay. And then I'm going to freeze that. I'm quite happy with that. It's like technically it's even, but just manipulating it to look like it's not. Okay, now that I have the basic kind of shape I want, I'm going to add in some different sections. Actually, I think the first thing I might do is, so for this one, I'm not doing, what is it called? I'm not going to do the classic corseting. I'm actually going to have a button, and then I'm going to, in Blender, use the the curve line technique to create a rope that wraps around the buttons and goes all the way down instead of trying to go in and through like I've done with the other ones. So with this one, I don't need a hole. I just need a button, but I need that one. So I just need it to be, okay. I think maybe I've put that too close to the edge. Do you know what though? I should probably have it on the button I actually want before deciding the positioning. So I'm going to, but I kind of need to know what it looks like on the garment. So should we try there? Nope, too high. Okay, that's perfect. And now I'm going to go into the button. I'm going to change it to, is it this one I want? Yes, because I'm going to wrap it around and then go across and wrap it around and go across and wrap, 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 wrap. Just continuous, continuous, continuous. So I think that one should be fine. Even though, because I'm doing icicles, maybe something more pointy will be better. I must admit, I don't like that as much as the other one. Let's have a look. If I change it to metal, do I like it more? Not really. It from the front, it doesn't really look like a cone. I suppose because it's very smooth. If it were a little bit more, I suppose I could have a star, but that doesn't really go. I think I'll stick with, I suppose that one. Actually, that one is quite nice, and fits more with the kind of theme. Mm, yeah, I might go with that one, but make it a bit smaller. Let's go for 14. Perfect. And let's change that to 5. Yes, because that is what I wanted, but I wanted when I looked at the front for it to look like that. I might bump that up to something a little bit more ridiculous. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And there we go. And so now I just need to place these. Okay, so about, I might keep that one just in line. That one, uh, I feel like they should probably follow the curve. My only annoyance is that they don't reflect, which is kind of annoying. So that one needs to be slightly lower. There. And then, is this the last one? Yeah, because the next one would be off the edge of the garment. Okay, so now I just need to put those at a kind of equal distance. I used to have a ruler on my desk, but I don't have it anymore. Right, so I can't remember how far away they were from the edge, but 13.8. And that one was, oh, they are mostly all 13.8. Okay, 13.7 might be the best I can do there. Right, let's move on. Oh, whoops. And how far away were you? 12. Just on that line. Perfect. And then I could right click and do this manually, but I do like getting used to the process of trying to do this by hand just to get used to the kind of finicky nature of the program. It pleases me. because I think when you know how to do something manually, it's a super useful tool before automating everything. It's kind of like when you do digital drawing or pattern making, you have to know how to do it by hand, I think, just because of the limitations a computer might have that um, you wouldn't be able to recognize or design outside of easily if you can't conceive of how it should look or how it should be done. Because even like the way that it's done these curves, I need to increase the topology because it's so sharp, because it can't conceive of that shape at its current level. And I just think knowing how to do that, and even like in my mind knowing what a corset pattern should look like, completely disregarding it and then making my own, but understanding how those contours go around the body. Um, I must admit, the only thing I don't really need to think about, I find in CLO, is the grain line, which is super important when you actually start sewing, but is not a key feature of CLO in itself. I'm sure it would be if I used it to make patterns, but I actually prefer making patterns by hand. I know, shock, a digital artist that when she sews in real life uses her hands to make actual patterns. Um, I do. I like CLO for its creative freedom and doing things like this, and the lack of limitations on materials, because I wanted a button that was kind of spiky but looked spiky both from the front and the side, and for it to kind of come out a little bit more. And it was easy for me to create that and then alter it at no cost to me and no kind of looking around and having to settle. I got exactly what I wanted in the exact way that I wanted it, and I couldn't ask for more. So it is it's a really interesting program, but and the way that it can be used. And I think that for me, I love the idea of digital fashion and I do see its future. And um I don't think it's going to replace digital fashion. I mean, I don't think it's going to replace fashion. I feel like it's going to become an addition to fashion, like another branch. And I say that because I think that there is always a market for everything. There is a community, a subculture, a group, or an occasion where this will be fantastic. And I think of some of my absolute favorite programs, and they are ones where, in terms of like clothing and accessories and even interior, the limitations are literally set by the user. And I love that concept. So I don't know if anyone has watched Psycho Pass, the anime. It is fantastic. This is not going to be a spoiler. I'm just going to talk about in the very first episode where she's in her room and she wakes up, and the main character, and she the her AI assistant asks her what she would like to experience today, and she picks oh, I can't remember, some hotel, is it the Grand Hotel? And so the AI puts a kind of filter over her home so that it's kind of it's definitely MR. For anyone who doesn't know what MR, it's mixed realities. It's definitely that, where you have this kind of overlay of a digital image over her couch that makes it look like this hotel that she's picked, which absolutely amazing, really fascinating. And it looks really, really cool. And I love that that limitation was just set by what would you like to see? How would you like to experience your home this morning? And even her clothes were just her. I can't remember which way around was it her uniform was underneath, and then she just put civilian clothes on via kind of like a hologram, and that the car as well was just um I don't know which way around it is, but it was either a normal car and then it has the overlay of the police when she's going to work, or it's the other way around. But either way, it was that concept that even if you had to buy those digital clothes, you could wear them at any time and swap between outfits. And I just think about the practicality of life. And for me, an outfit is an embodiment of a moment and a feeling, which is why I love cosplay so much. Because in that moment, I am embodying a character, I'm having lots of fun, and I feel much more confident when I'm cosplaying than I do in everyday normal life. Like, the stranger I am dressed, the happier I am. And I love, love, love dressing up, and I absolutely adore um, even being in the space of cosplay. I'm more of an introvert, more of a like, let's stay at home, just me and my cat. But when it comes to cosplay, I I love being outside. I love that that community, and I don't think I could do it every day. It's like it couldn't be a job for me, because, and when I say a job, I mean, I don't mean something I want to monetize, but I mean something that um if I could do it every single day and not have to do anything else, I would. I don't think I would. I think that it's enjoyable in the moment, but would be really overwhelming every single day. So, um, I do like that it is when it is. And I don't go to all the Comic Cons. I am very specific. I tend to pick the winter ones just because when you're wearing a costume, it can get quite hot. And then because of the lots of people around, all the excitement, everyone's rushing around, there's lots of food and bright lights, and it's all very, very exciting. It gets pretty warm, and I love the heat. The heat for me is just like, yes, yes, always heat. My happy temperature is 25. I prefer a nice humid heat, if anybody was asking. But in actual fact, um, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. The the heat at Comic Con can be quite overwhelming, which is always good. If you ever go to Comic Con and you've never been before, make sure you have a drink with you. You can definitely buy drinks there, but it's nice to at any moment be able to just slip in and be like, oh, have a sip of water. But I would highly recommend it. All right, that is it for today's stream. I will see you in the next stream. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hello, beautiful mother. How are you?